Hey, good day and welcome to the channel. In this short video, we're going to take a deep dive on a really cool piece of software called HWiNFO that provides you with every conceivable detail about your computer hardware, from serial numbers, makes, models, firmware, steppings, you name it. But much more importantly, it provides information that's coming from all of the sensors. And when I say all of the sensors, I mean all of the sensors. If you've got a CPU with heat, power draw, fan speed, your sensors, which of course we all do, yeah, it's got it. So it's super handy for monitoring what's going on. And you can do A/B testing if you want. You check your system in the default state, then you reboot it, and you make BIOS changes if you're, say, an overclocker, or a gamer, and you want to see what's happening to the temperature of the RAM. Yeah, this will tell you. So let's just take a quick look. Look, this is way more powerful than old school Task Manager or Process Manager or even HW Monitor or CPU-Z or other tools that we've used over the years. And when you start it, man, it's an eyeful. Look at all of this information. I'm just going to close this down, but this is what it starts up with. So we'll start you at the start with the download and roll through it very quickly. So how do you get it? Just surf to hwinfo.com and click on download. We normally get the portable version when we're at our clients because corporate clients don't like things installed, but we need to know this information. However, for the sake of this video, we've done the download. So we just went and pulled it down from the US, installed it. It's click next. It doesn't contain any malware. It's safe. And when you start it, what it does is pop up this option of sensor mode, summary mode, or memory mode. Most people are just going to want to go to sensor mode, but because this is a demonstration, a full tutorial of HWiNFO, we'll go to full mode, start. And you can see all of this stuff pops up. I'm going to close this because we'll show you how to bring it back up in a second. This screen is the base home screen, and it gives you every conceivable detail about your hardware. So you can see here, there's a lot of detail, right? And you think, oh, well, I've seen this before in other tools. Look at the scroll bar, bud. That is a lot of detail. Now, this is not really what we're here for. We're here for sensors, but I'll show you what's on this particular computer, which is an HP all-in-one, but we'll also put up some screenshots that I took earlier today of an old Intel machine. So you can see that different machines will have different information because they have different sensors. Okay, so let's move on from this. Now, to get that screen back up that we just had, you just simply click Summary. And this gives you a really nice quick summary of your core components, your CPU, your motherboard, and your GPU. If you had more than one CPU, say this is on a server, you can select it. It tells you what features your CPU supports. And if you don't know what something is, just put your mouse over it. It'll tell you. So I think you get the idea here. Let's go to the cool part, which is sensors. Now, in sensors, there's a lot of information. You can scroll down through this if you want, but the easier thing to do is click these arrows at the bottom left, and it'll bring up all of the sensor detail, and it makes the scrolling a lot less. At the top here is my overall configuration, virtual memory load, so on and so forth. Really not that interesting. CPU load, that's interesting stuff. Now look at this. I can expand the cores and drill into any one of them. And if I mouse over it, you'll see it's providing really detailed information what that is. Let's take a look at core vids. Right, these are my Zen cores. This is your current at the top here, then minimum, then maximum, then the average. Now take a look here. If I expand core temperatures, this is really handy. I can see what each core is running at, and I can see what it's done recently. Keep in mind that you pretty much never want to see a core over about 80 degrees. So if you're playing a game, in the background, you've got this running and you're checking it, you'll find that it'll get pretty hot. And CPUs are good to about 90 degrees. That's where they start getting into thermal shutdown, which we're going to show you how to check here if it's in thermal shutdown or slowdown or throttling as it's called. But these temperatures are just fine. Normally what you want to look at, by the way, is the package. That's probably the level of detail most people want to look at. They're not too concerned with any individual core, but you can see the electricity draw. Now, something here is that I believe that these numbers are not actually what's being consumed. I believe these numbers are what the core is demanding, of what it's asking of the system. And this is what it was asking for, and this is what it normally asks for. Now, let's go down and check some cool stuff. What's the thermal limit? Where is it that this CPU says, yeah, we don't want to go past that? Well, that's about 65% of 90 degrees is about 65 degrees. That's about right. At that point, it starts saying, yeah, maybe I should cool down a bit. And you can see, is this one in thermal throttling? HTC? Nope. But maybe if I ran a high-end game on it, at 4K with a high frame rate, yeah, that would tell me if I'm going into thermal throttling. Super helpful. Now, say this was a big concern for you. You can right-click on pretty much any of these settings and select Add to Tray. So I minimize HWiNFO, and look, if I put my mouse over it, it gives me the settings. Pretty handy. Now I don't want that anymore, so I'm going to remove. I could go into HTC throttling and add to tray. Is it in thermal throttling? Nope, but it could be. In the future, if I start playing a game, that's really handy. I can also click on any of these sensors and select Show Graph. So let's take a look at the power consumption. I'm going to right click, show graph. Cool. Now, if I start a YouTube video, does it affect the CPU at all? Not the power draw. Pretty cool. Great for troubleshooting. Now let's go down to the DIMMs, your memory, so you can see how the temperatures are. If you're an overclocker, you've gone into the BIOS and made changes. This is really helpful. Are we over voltage? Are we under voltage? Are they failing? And speaking of failing, this is super helpful. Let's go down and look at the drive itself. So it's got the SMART smart details. That's nothing you haven't seen before, but this is pretty cool. It'll show you the drive life remaining. And how does it calculate that? Well, it's based on the total number of writes. So that's 8 terabytes have been written on this drive, and 12 terabytes have been read on my Western Digital Black. Not that much. Let's take a look at an old Dell box I took a screenshot of earlier today. This drive has written 100 terabytes, and it has read 111 terabytes. And yeah, that drive's got 69% of its life left. And that's on a Crucial 1 terabyte drive. While we're showing you these Intel screenshots, let's take a quick look at some of the different settings. So you can see here, it brings up the different graphic, tells you what the CPU is capable of, just like we talked about, what the video card is, and you can drill into the USB ports to see what's actually connected to them. How handy is that? And again, this is on an old Intel i7 9700. That's more than a decade old. And this tool, HWiNFO, still provides really good information. Now, you can look through the rest of this on your own for your GPU temperatures and utilization. It provides such great detail on the current, minimum, maximum, and average capacity, usage, temperatures. But before we give up on this section, let's scroll right down to the very bottom to the Windows hardware errors, WHEA. That's the panic button for Windows. So if your machine has just general instability, you may see errors listed here. Thank God mine show none. If you see some, you need to investigate it. Now, before we wrap this up, let's take a look at a few customizations and additional settings. You can stress test your system. Really easy to do. We're not going to show it just for time reasons. You can reset your timers. You can start logging. This will produce a CSV file for you. Super handy if you're trying to do an analysis. We've used it on a few servers before and found quirky little CPU problems, but we'll leave that alone. You get the idea that logging into a CSV is great for doing your own analysis after the fact. Let's go into the configure sensors. Something a lot of people want to do is change that global polling period from 2 seconds down to something much shorter. And we can tell you from experience, you don't want to run that less than about 900 milliseconds. So we generally just say 1,000. If you do that, you get the observer effect where the software monitoring it is actually causing usage. So I wouldn't set it much below that, but we're going to leave it at the default 2,000. And if this is all just too much for you to work on, you can turn values on and off. You can turn settings on and off. I mean, it's really handy to be able to click through here and focus in on what you're interested in. Everything in the computer world works on Celsius, but if you're an American, you might just be more familiar with Fahrenheit, so you can change it over to Fahrenheit if you wish. There's also on this general tab the main settings button, and when you click on that, you'll see a theme down here. You've got this Gigabyte Aorus thing, and all it does is change it to orange. I'll do it just for fun. Yeah, you can see there. That's kind of fun. Let's look at layout. Again in here, you can turn on or off what's being monitored. We can change the order of them, which gets to a good point. You decide, I want CPU 0 to be the most important thing. I can just grab it and I can drag it and just drop it. And you go, well, it's going to change the order. Are you sure you want to do that? Yep, I am. And then you realize, man, you've buggered this up. You've got this in all some sort of screwed up format that you don't understand. You can go back to Configure Sensors and go to Layout and select Restore Original Order. Yes, I want to do that. Now, tray icon is just what we showed. You can right click on these things and select Save to Tray. So you can do it here as well. But the difference here is it's easy for you to change the colors. So if you've got an icon down in your system tray, like this one, for the energy performance, you can change the color. Okay, I don't really care. On-screen display. So if you're used to caring about having a display on your screen of the configuration, the big one that people use is the MSI Afterburner app. Works great, except this is way more detail. Now, there's a benefit to this, which is you can have MSI Afterburner tie into this and pull the sensor information from HWiNFO. Again, we're not going to bother to show you that just for time reasons, but it's easy to do. Let's go to alerts. Are there alerts you want to set? So, if you've got something that's overheating or has some other problem, I could select enable alerting. What you probably don't notice is that there's a scroll bar over here. So just use your mouse wheel and scroll down, and then you can see it. So there's a lot of detail here. So if you care about your GPU temperature, you can click on it, select enable alerting, and then I want it to play a sound, display a warning window, whatever else. So I'm going to cancel out. I don't want to keep any of those settings. So hey, we think this HWiNFO tool is awesome, and we hate utilities. This is something that we typically run from a thumb drive because we don't want it running all the time. We use it for troubleshooting. But if you're a full-on geek, I don't think it's a problem to leave running. We've done it on a few machines. Doesn't seem to cause any problems at all. And with that, let's wrap the video up. If you found this useful, big thumbs up would be super appreciated. Subscribe's also appreciated. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can always get a hold of us directly at www.urtech.ca. Just click contact, or you can leave a question or a comment below. And if we don't get back to you, somebody else will, because on YouTube, everybody's got an opinion. So thanks and have a great day. Bye-bye.